You introduce yourself first, then me, then Joel. How you guys want to do?
I already started recording, man.
Right now?
Yep.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Alright, our
Why
podcast already sucks.
We're in this now.
Wow.
We are in this, man. Welcome to the first ever podcast of It Be Like That Sometimes. My name is Zach, and I'm joined with my friends Paul and Joel.
What's up,
How you guys doing today?
All right, let's get right into this. So our first topic of the day is going to be music, specifically the death of X.
Death of X, bro. I mean, it's just one of those things where rappers get killed, man. Like, you know, I hate to say it, bro, but the guy was involved, it seems like, in some bad stuff, you know.
You know, it really do be like that.
It really
do
be like that,
you know.
But the thing with X is, he had all these allegations for sexual assault, and, I don't know if his girlfriend came out and said that she made all this stuff up.
Somebody said that.
I saw that on Facebook, but, that's steam room talk. You can hear that anywhere.
Steam room talk?
Yeah,
Steam room
it's
talk.
like I was
Come
sitting,
on,
already getting off topic, but I was sitting in the steam room one day at Experience Fitness. This guy comes in the steam room, he's like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, what are you trying to do in the gym? I was like, I'm, trying to get this slow gut off me, and he's like, oh, you drink soda? I'm like, yeah. He's like, bro, you don't drink that soda, because every soda you drink, it's like a pound adding. So if you drink like 6 sodas in one day, you're going to gain like 6 pounds. And I'm like, well, bro, that's not true, because if that's the case, I would have been dead years ago. This steam room talk, just like going back to the X thing. That's how I view it as.
Steam room talk.
Yeah.
Never heard.
Do you really not
How
understand? How
often you go into that steam
we
room,
understand
bro?
what you're saying. It just. All right.
So what's the question? All right, you.
There was no question.
All right. Well, X is dead. It's unfortunate that anybody dies. It sucks. But
Did you listen to his music?
I did not. I can tell you what. I could not name a single X song.
So I mean,
Is X gonna give it to you an X song?
Not the kind of X we're talking about.
You know what
here.
I'm talking about though?
XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the X going give it to you. Go get.
It's a different kind of X, man.
Oh, it's like a.
That's a
narcotic
totally
or
different
something.
artist.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Isn't DMX, right?
Oh,
I
shout out to
believe-
Tear It
I
Up.
believe so. Yeah.
Shout out to the Texas Roadhouse anthem,
Tear
bro.
It Up, maybe.
You
Wait,
know?
what?
Yeah, me and Joel were driving to Texas Roadhouse one day. We were listening to Tear It Up on like volume 11. Almost blew the sub out the whip.
Volume 11. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound very.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, like on the guitar amps or whatever. It's
Yeah.
on Rock Band. It says like turn it up to 11.
Didn't
How do you
play-
guys
I-
not
I-
understand a single thing I'm saying?
I
right now?
never played that. I never was a fan of rock.
Yeah,
I like
band or
Guitar Hero.
anything.
A Guitar
Guitar
Hero,
Hero.
Guitar Hero was like a hype game back in 07.
Rock
You know,
Band was kind of fun. I like playing the drums. I don't have rhythm though.
Dude, it's just one of those games.
You really
where
don't.
I have no rhythm.
I felt like that Rock Band and Guitar Hero were those games that were just hype games. It was just like, guess what? You can play music on your Xbox. And it was really cool at the time. But like these days, you're never, I feel like, going to see much people being like hyped for Rock Band.
Now we got big anime girls in VR.
Big, yeah. And
Yeah.
what is it? Hadouken? Or Okie Dokie? What's the game called?
Oh, Doki Doki.
Doki
Little-
Doki. Out to Hadouken. That's a
That's a
shout out
game
to,
for another discussion. That is a
Doki
masterpiece.
Doki. But it's like that, bro. Games today, it's like.
I was reading your review on Cory in the House for Nintendo
Yeah,
3DS
that was-
the other day.
Dude, yes.
To Spencer and Carter.
Uh-huh.
They lost it.
Yeah, bro. I even made a point with how good the graphics were on the DS, But you guys know me. I like writing stupid reviews.
What makes you like? Did you actually play that game and go, "This is a good
Dude,
game"?
I never played that game. But you guys know how much I like my reviews. I tell you what, I did a couple of crazy reviews, and most of them come from like, okay, so if I really like something, I'll write a crazy like the buffet one, or the.
I thought you didn't even like that buffet.
I love that buffet, dude.
Didn't your mom hate
My
it?
mom hated it, and I got salty because she was like, "This is the worst buffet I've ever had," and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna write a Pauly B review on it because you said it sucked so much."
Just for the
Yeah.
people listening, Paul likes to make reviews on Facebook and like
Yeah.
give them stars and stuff, and they are like detailed reviews. They are like a page long.
Yeah.
I feel like it always generates a response to from whatever like the store managers. They're like, "Oh, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to rate us, and I'm glad you enjoyed your experience."
I know.
Or like DiGiorno, where they're like, "That's just not
That's
right."
not right.
Oh, yeah.
The Supreme Buffet, when I posted it, like, it was probably a 3-4 paragraph review, and they were like, "Thank you very much, Paul. We're glad you and your family enjoyed a Supreme Buffet." So that was like a positive one. For the DiGiorno one, that they commented and they were like, yeah, what's going on? They were like, this can't be right. Please.
Did you message them?
No, they commented on the post.
I know, and then
yeah.
they said message us.
No, I don't, because their pizza is horrible. What could they possibly do to fix that? What, give me $5 back? Here's your $5 back. We're going to send it in the mail. It's going to get here in 2 months. Oh, also, we're charging you $2.50 for shipping on the $5 coupon back. It's just ridiculous, man. Honestly, DiGiorno is awful. You know, it really is horrible pizza, and I don't know how people enjoy it, but, you know, good.
Sorry to everybody that loves DiGiorno.
DiGiorno is terrible.
I think it's like good for frozen pizza.
It's not, dude.
Frozen pizza as a whole.
Frozen. I mean,
Not a fan.
Okay,
I'll
wait.
eat that when I'm super hungry,
Yeah.
and like I think pizza's great.
Here-
But like parlor pizza is like the top.
See, dude, and I never ordered pizza at a restaurant. Hence the ravioli $40 fiasco.
Oh,
You know, why don't you tell that story, Sprague, for all listeners?
so
if they haven't
me and
heard it.
me and Paul were at this pizza place, right? And this pizza place
And
has
our friend Cole. I had to
and our
shout
friend
him out.
Cole. Shout out to Cole. We went to this pizza place, and the thing about this pizza was that the pizza place, the name had pizza in it.
Pizza Man.
Correct. Yeah. And we go to this pizza place, and we're sitting there like debating on what pizza we want to get and what toppings. And Paul's like, you know what? I don't want pizza. I want to get this French onion soup and this ravioli.
French onion soup's pretty good.
That French onion soup was fantastic.
$13.
It was 10.
Hey,
So
it'd be like that sometimes.
like
You
that
gotta ball out,
sometimes.
you know?
You know, and I got this ravioli, right? And they were saying, oh, it's just ravioli. Like, it's not like Chef Boyardee poor boy crap. It's like real good Italian ravioli. It's like stuff with mushrooms and like truffle mushrooms and meat and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And they were like, it comes in this brown butter sauce. And I was like, or browned butter. I was like, what's brown butter? And then you guys all looked at me like I was an idiot. Oh, it's butter that's browned.
Well, you cook the butter a little bit and put it over. Brown
You
So
know
butter.
it
what?
didn't have any red sauce?
No,
No.
honestly,
It was like the worst part of it was when it came out. It was like 2 pieces of ravioli.
it was probably,
it was a tiny
to
plate.
be honest, it was probably like 10, but it was honestly the worst ravioli I've ever had in my life. It was horrible.
We're gonna get a comment from Pizza Man like,
You
"Hey
know
Paul,
what, Pizza Man?
So it was just wet noodles?
It was a noodle filled with like mushrooms and some like Taco Bell grade meat.
That sounds horrible.
And you know, it was horrible. And
that's what you get for getting ravioli at a pizza place."
Do you know how disgusting it is to eat straight up butter sauce? I mean, it's different if it's like a scampi sauce at Red Lobster, but it was honestly god awful, you know. And I hated it. And the bill came, and your and Cole's pizza was like $30
with the garlic cheesy bread that we got and our 2 sodas.
And I ate some of that, yeah.
Yeah, that it was like $30, and the bill came out to like
$70.
Yeah, it was
$70.
$70.
Mm-hmm.
$40, Paul, for your food.
You know what?
He was balling out. He
It's
said,
just-
I'm not even going to look at the price tag.
It's one of those things, and I remember you guys got the bill, and you were like, "This can't be right. This is not our bill." And you looked, you were like, "Oh, Paul's ravioli." And you know, I think who was it? You or Cole that threw down the gift card to help. me
It
out.
was my gift card, yeah.
Thanks, man.
I paid for like half that bill, and then you had to get the rest. And
I
then
appreciate that, you know, and the waitress was sweet about it. You know, she was. You know,
we didn't say anything. What was the waitress gonna do? You ordered the food.
I know. I was thinking about.
Speaking
maybe
of
something, I don't
ravioli,
know.
didn't you make like 4 cans of ravioli one night at like 3 a.m.?
No, I think you're thinking of the story where I couldn't open the ravioli can.
No, you messaged us one night in the group chat. At
No,
like,
I said, "Can you flush ravioli down the toilet?"
yeah, because I've made an astronomical
Oh,
amount of ravioli.
Yes, because what happened
Why
was
don't
I
you
was.
just put it down the sink?
Okay, here's the story.
Yeah, why-
Here's the story. What do you mean put ravioli down the
Down
sink?
the garbage disposal.
Do you have an incinerator? Like a
Yeah, I do. But here's the story. So I was
or the
upstairs.
garbage.
Okay, let's hold on.
Or like Michigan.
let me
yeah,
I'll
you
throw-
live on the lake.
Let me explain myself. It was like 0300, all right? And like I got, you know, I'm watching TV, and I made 2 cans of ravioli, 2 full-size cans of Chef Boyardee. I ate like half of it, and I was like, man, I'm really full. So like the alarm was set downstairs, you know, because we have the house alarm.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I probably just destroyed the microphone. But so I was like, oh man, you know, the alarm's on. I really don't feel like going and possibly waking my parents up to explain that I have to throw out a monstrous amount of ravioli. So I was like,
Astronomical.
astronomical, yeah. I think I did say
You
astronomical.
said yes, you did. I remember.
Yeah, so I was like, can I flush this down the toilet? Because I didn't want to go downstairs, wake my parents up and everything. And my thought process was, can I flush this down the toilet, or will this actually clog the toilet? And then my dad gets up for work in the morning, and he sees a bunch of ravioli sitting in the toilet, overflowing tomato sauces all over the floor. And who do you think's gonna get blamed? The cat? No. He's gonna look at me. Who else in the house would flush ravioli down the toilet? I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but there's nobody else in my household.
That's a Paul thing.
That's a
for
Paul
sure.
thing, and there's nobody else in my house that would flush ravioli down the toilet. And I think I ended up doing
You didn't
it.
want to put it in the Tupperware container in the fridge, or
Joel, I would have to turn the house alarm off and wake everybody up. And
Wait.
wait? Why would that
To go in
wake
the
everybody
fridge?
up?
dude, I was upstairs, and because the house.
I mean, I don't want to go in the specifics of your home security, but
Yeah.
You go
That-
downstairs and the alarm goes off?
No, I'd have to disable the alarm, and it makes a noise when you disable.
Why do you have to disable it? Oh, because
Dude,
is there like
it's a motion sensor, so if
inside the house?
yeah. So no, please, no one break in. Okay.
No one's.
I know. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
but if you do break it, just know.
If you break in, just know that there's probably going to be 2 cans of ravioli sitting there, and I'm going to be flushing it down the toilet. You know, and it's not going to be a good experience for either of us. You know, and then the sheriff's office rolls up, and it's a ravioli assault, and then it's just not fun. You know,
What?
It's not.
it's not. What's up?
From
I just-
XXX Tentacion to
It's a
ravioli.
ravioli down the toilet. Well, how far are we in? Like 5 minutes?
I don't know. We're not keeping track right now.
All right, Gucci.
But what? 2 cans of ravioli,
Yeah, dude. I was hungry.
and you didn't.
Why do you think
you didn't eat any of it?
I did. I ate like about a can's worth. Dude, this is the okay. So like,
It's just that's
Let-
just so much
let,
ravioli.
okay, let me kind of go into something I actually wanted to talk about. Unless you guys have anything pressing with this matter, it relates to the ravioli. So like in my life, I'll be honest. I've been overweight most of my life. Ever since I was about 11 or 12, I've had a weight problem. So, and I've been through several periods in my life where I've really tried to give it a go to lose weight, and I've succeeded in losing weight, but never to the point where I actually lost all my gut and I was a completely changed person. So, trying to lose weight all my life and stuff, right now I'm doing terrible. I think I'm about 240 right now. And at the beginning of this year, I was like 222. So it's been bad. And, but it's moments like that where you're sitting there at 0300, you have 2 cans of ravioli sitting in front of you, and Happy Tree Friends is on TV, where you just look at your life and you're like, what the hell? What's actually going on here? And just like last night, went to see The Incredibles 2. And,
How was it, by the way?
honestly, dude, it was not that good. I gave it a GFR 6.5.
I heard differently. I heard it was really good.
I've heard it's really good too.
It's
a Pixar movie. We're 21 and 22 here.
so we're not gonna like it as much as little 12, 11-year-old
Right.
kids. I feel like.
I watch SpongeBob and enjoy it now more than I probably did when I watched it when I was
That's
younger.
because there's a
Really?
bunch of like hidden jokes in there that aren't meant for kids.
I guess.
But
Yeah.
still,
But okay,
I watched Shrek last night and that was awesome.
That's questionable.
for example though,
We'll get into it.
one Shrek. But one. So I was sitting there in the, I went with Griffin with Kyle,
Okay.
to see the movie.
Thanks
And,
for the envy, by the way.
You know what, bro? Thanks for the MV for all the bike trips.
Do you have a bike?
He does not
I
have a
can
bike.
borrow my father's bike.
You don't have one of those choppers?
No, I don't
Remember
have
those
a big. I'm gonna bring my big wheel.
What,
My
what do they
adult.
call those? A stingray or something? What?
No, those were choppers.
Okay.
It straight up was a
that-
chopper?
It was called weren't they called the choppers? Those bikes that looked like the chopper motorcycles?
Like for kids.
Yeah, they were
I
called
thought that-
choppers.
why do I feel like it was like a stingray or something?
No, I think it was chopper. Anyway,
So what I was saying
you're not
was,
bringing your big wheel.
I also want to talk about the whole thanks for the envy thing, in general later,
Why?
because it's just a thing, and I just like to discuss it. And Joel knows how. Joel hates getting hit with thanks for the envy more than anyone, and so like last night we were seeing The Incredibles 2, and me and Jake were going to see. Hold on, I got kind of. Hold on a second.
Gather your thoughts.
So
here.
I gather my thoughts. So me and Griff were going to. He came over to my house, and we were going to drive there together, right?
Mhm.
And
Thanks for the envy, by the way.
you know what, dude? It's one of those things, and
I got
it'd be like that sometimes. But
It's all good. got
So
burgers
I'm
there.
like, I want to go to McDonald's on the way to the movie theater because I don't want to spend $45 on snacks. So I ended up going to Burger King, and I'm like looking at the drive-through.
The champagne of fast food places.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the drive-through, and I'm like, oh, it's like a double bacon king or something. It was a fat freaking burger. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get one of those, and I'm gonna get 2 crispy chicken juniors. Okay. So we're in the movie theater. I'm walking up to the movie theater. I'm eating this crispy chicken junior in a parking lot. And I ate both of them in the lobby in the parking lot. We get like halfway through The Incredibles 2. I pull out this monster burger. I'm just eating it.
Where'd you put it in your pocket?
I put it in my jacket, yeah. So, I'm like,
I guess.
I'm sitting there watching this movie. I'm eating this double bacon king. There's like ketchup and mayo on it. It's getting on my hands, and the movie's not that good. I'm just like, you know what? This is bullshit. It's like, why am I sitting here watching The Incredibles 2 with ketchup and mayo all over my hands? After trying to lose weight for so long, it's just ridiculous. So I woke up today. I was like, you know what? I smashed 3 freaking burgers last night, and I actually want to eat healthy. Plus, I don't have that much money right now. Hence why I didn't go to Chick-fil-A, and I'm drinking the Slim Fast. I'm actually going to work out after this. Workout is probably going to equal to walking on the treadmill for 45 minutes.
It's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing, and I always do feel better when I work out.
Walking's pretty good for you.
Honestly, it's one of those things, dude. It's like, lately all I've been doing is binge watching Better Call Saul and going to work. And it's like, it just feels better to go up and go to the gym, even if you are just walking, because I always do feel better after.
You should get a bike with us.
Yeah, I actually, for all listeners out here, I myself, I currently work loss prevention field, but my ultimate goal is to get into law enforcement, like Joel over here. And I'm in the process of getting a job in corrections for the local jail around here.
Well, you already got the job.
I got the conditional offer, so now all I have to do is pass the drug test and the physical. I never do any drugs, and I don't think any of my limbs are gonna fall off, so I think I'll pass the physical.
Contrary to popular belief,
Yeah,
Paul does
so
not do drugs.
That's another thing. I really don't do drugs. It's just I never.
I think
never did it.
I think drugs is a super interesting topic to get in on.
I think it is, but
I think you're an idiot if you're sitting here and you're just like, legalize marijuana so I can get high in my parents' basement.
Well, here's the thing about that. I feel like honestly that's 85% of the community that wants it legal.
That's 85% of the community of the people that speak out.
Yeah, it is. And everybody, in Sprague, I know we've had our differences with this, but I know you look at more of the medical benefits of it.
I look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
As like legalizing a drug that has medical benefits and like stops from like people that shouldn't be in jail, like wasting people's time and money.
Yeah.
And like tax dollars and stuff like that. Like if somebody's smoking weed in their basement and just eating a bag of chips, why arrest them? Like they're not trying to harm anybody,
well, here's what I gotta say about legalizing the drug thing, okay? I'm not I'm not a fan of drugs. I've never have been. I've always probably kind of been a little anti-drug. But I was thinking about this today actually, and I know we've had our differences, dude. What are you guys smiling at me for like a bunch of cheese bags, man?
I was just stroking my mustache, bro. That's all I was doing.
But I think that if the legalizing thing is, I do think that's kind of a one thing leads to another scenario.
There's a country. What country was it? Singapore?
Brown eyes.
I think it was Singapore. They had a terrible drug problem, and it's not just marijuana. It was like every cocaine, just like terrible
shooting
drugs.
MSG in your
Yeah,
arms.
it's just like
that.
crime rates were going through the roof and stuff, and they were like super desperate to try anything.
Yeah.
So instead of cracking down on drugs and stuff, they just legalized every drug. So they legalized it. It wasn't a crime anymore. But what they did is if they found possession of like meth, heroin, cocaine, weed, any of that, instead of taking them to a prison or something like that, they would get them medical help instead.
Okay.
Instead of putting a bad connotation on it, they would sit down and they would be like, hey, you're doing these drugs. It's ruining your life. You're obviously in shambles. We're going to send you to like a doctor, a therapist, or something like that. And drug use dropped. Crime rates dropped. Everything just went like surprisingly well. Okay. And I think that would be an interesting thing to implement. Obviously, that America is a huge country.
I was just about to say that.
Like
Think
that's
about how small Singapore is.
That's a very different thing.
Yeah. But,
it
Joel,
just seems a little unrealistic. Honestly.
For America, yeah.
Well,
But
what? Okay, so
when you look at our correctional system right now, we don't even have facilities for people with mental health issues. I mean, at our local jail, we got plenty of people that are, like, realistically should not be in jail and should be in some kind of mental health institution. But when you only have one in our area that's 2 hours away, that has a limited number of beds and everything, you can't even. How can you expect to do something like that when we got people waiting months just to get a bed in a mental health facility? I think it's a good idea, but a lot of stuff's got to change before that can ever be implemented.
Well, how about this? So you said the medical thing. Like, I think for the cocaine and heroin people that actually have, like, terrible withdrawals, and, like, actual addiction, they probably do need medical. But for something like marijuana, dude, that wouldn't. I don't think that there's no reason because
it's not.
Because what are you gonna do for somebody who's marijuana? It's like there's no medical need there.
It's not. Yeah, it's not an addictive substance. Yeah. I mean, you can get addicted mentally to the.
Yeah, I feel like you can get mentally addicted to anything, dude.
Yeah,
I just think a lot of people are quick to say that stuff like marijuana has no negative benefits.
But that's not true.
Right.
That's like saying alcohol has no negative benefits because it's legal.
Right.
Okay, but
I'm just saying there's a lot of things that come with it. I mean, it's not just like, okay, tomorrow it's legalized and now everyone gets let out of jail and, we're all going to be good. I mean, there's a lot of benefits I think that can come from it. I think tax-wise and everything like that, the revenue generated from that would be...
what, for legalization of it?
Yeah, would be, a bonus, but, a lot of other people think too. It's just a harmless thing. Well, I think you're going to see a lot of spikes in OWIs, crashes, stuff like that. Driving while drugged people don't realize you smoke some weed and you go driving that you're impaired to some extent. I mean,
well,
it's a different kind of impairment, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can still get an OWI for that.
It is, and I think a lot of people say like. I personally have never smoked marijuana. I've never done any drugs. I do drink sometimes, which I guess you could consider a drug, alcohol. I vape, nicotine, so that could be a drug. But quite frankly, it's not an illegal drug, so I feel like people don't consider it a drug. So, but here's the thing,
Well, I mean, caffeine's a drug.
Caffeine is a drug, yeah. It's all that kind of crap. So, think of it this way. It's like, just like Joel said, it's, people can say, oh, I can smoke and drive. I can drive while high. It's no problem because it's a different type of buzz. Well, dude, there's a lot of people who think I can drive drunk just because I'm that good.
And then they die.
So I think, just because it's a different type of high or buzz, people could still get hurt from marijuana-related driving.
I agree with that. I think that if they were to legalize marijuana, such as in, I believe Colorado and, like, Washington have like laws against that. Like here in Wisconsin, if you get pulled over and you're high and you don't have weed, you can still get a ticket for OWI.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Right. It's kind of how it works is obviously if you have possession of that right now, it's an illegal substance. Mm-hmm. But now once you use that and it's in your blood, just because it's in your blood doesn't mean that it's now illegal because it's in your blood. But now you put into something like you're operating a vehicle or something, now you have that impairment. There's got to be some kind of way to, like, okay, we have the, PBT, preliminary breath test or whatever, to get a, or intoximeters, which are a lot more, accurate and stuff like that, or blood tests, to get your blood alcohol content. Now, there's not like a PBT for marijuana, you know what I mean? So there's got to be some kind of something that needs to come into place so that we can at least regulate that.
Well, that's part of it. If you're going to legalize marijuana recreationally, you're going to have to implement more laws than just legalizing marijuana.
Yeah, it's just going to be like another version of alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some of it is like you got to pick your battles, and I don't think that fighting off people that are smoking marijuana is a battle worth fighting for, like, law enforcement, like, cuz there are way bigger things going on. You know what I mean?
But, here's another thing about that, with marijuana, there is a lot of problems with just crime and stuff. People get
that's like the big drug dealers and stuff that are, like, out there killing people.
Yeah.
Right, and just because it's legalized doesn't mean that now, if you have some kind of, manufacturing or delivering or distributing of those substances doesn't mean that you're just not free or whatever, because you still were. I think that's different selling it versus
just having
it in your possession or utilizing it. So, and I mean, at that point, even if it does get legalized, it's going to have to be federally regulated. So, I mean, even if you now have that, you can't just have a big old field of it in your backyard. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's
like making moonshine with alcohol. You can't be doing that.
Right.
Shout out to moonshine.
Shout out to freaking moonshine.
Yeah.
But you know, and kind of switching a little bit here. Going back to the music a little bit, unless you guys want to add anything.
No.
You know, moving on to, you know, kind of a mildly controversial opinion of mine is on Post Malone, you know, and Sprague, Sprague and Joel, I know you guys are big fans of Post Malone. So here's my opinion on Post Malone, you know. I don't think.
Be careful, because he's going to be listening to this.
Post.
I'm sending this to him.
Well, he's
getting this audio.
Well,
file.
You know what, dude? But you have to. I'm just giving my honest opinion. You know?
Okay.
It's like, I am not a fan of Post Malone's music.
Okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong.
Yep.
You know what, bro? Don't start with that. And I do not think he is that good of a musician. I could see his talent, but me personally, I don't appreciate his music. So I guess he would be a fine musician talent-wise, but I don't like his music. But I feel like a lot of his fans, and not that there's nothing wrong with this technically, but I feel like they idolize him as a celebrity just because he's a chill guy. You know, because every time I hear...
Well, isn't that part of it, though?
I guess, dude, but, like, I don't think it really has anything to do with
That's like people being... I would rather have people being like, hey, I like Post Malone because he's a chill guy. He's not out, like... This is controversial, too, but, like, X allegedly is out there beating women and is out there doing horrible things.
Well, he's dead now.
It's somebody... Here, we'll put it like this. It's somebody you can connect to a little bit more. I mean... You see him playing video games, some of the games that we play. You know what I mean? He's doing cool stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff that if we were all hanging out, we might be doing the same stuff as opposed to people, you know, you might not be able to connect. Maybe somebody, you know, that's out, you know,
well, here's
doing drugs or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a little different connection.
I'll give you an example. You know, like say somebody is like, say there's a rapper. We'll call him like, I don't know, what's the name? Just a random name.
Lil
Bump. Okay, so say there's this rapper named Lil Bump, and this guy, he just seshes Jewel and makes a lot of ravioli and throws it away. You know, it's like, yeah, I think that's funny, but I wouldn't like love his music just because of his personality. And I feel like every time I hear somebody say they love Post Malone, it's like, oh, I love Post Malone because he's so chill and like he has a Bud Light dispenser in his.
Well, that's. Van. I mean, it's a whole culmination of things. I mean, yeah, just because he's cool doesn't mean his music is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's right. I think people.
But that's why I feel like people are a fan of him because his music. They think his music is good, and he's a chill dude.
Yeah, I could be like, you could if you were to go out and make music, and I hated it. I could be like, you know what? I like Paul as a person because he's cool. He does this. He does that. Mm. But your music's trash. It's garbage. Oh wait, you do make music.
Yeah, I do make music.
Oh wow.
Thanks, I was just about to ask you what you thought of it.
But you get what I'm saying here is because like you.
Oh no, I get my music's trash, bro. It's okay, man. And it kind of is, to be honest.
I'm
but, you know,
saying. All right. Shout out to the Pauly B Chronicles
and Gorilla Yell and Writer's Block.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you were to go out and produce music and you had a mass following, right? You just had tons and tons of people following you. I could be like, I hate your stuff. It's terrible. I'm not a fan of it. I know you're musically talented, but I don't like it. But I like you.
Yeah.
That's where people are coming from with this.
I guess. You know, I've never been a huge celebrity guy, so I don't really get it. The appeal of celebrity going crazy for him, but
I think he's a cool dude because he's a freaking weirdo. Like, he's totally different from than what you're looking at right now in like music and like the rap game and like stuff like that, hip hop.
Yeah, he just does his own thing, bro. It's cool.
He's out on stage wearing Crocs and he's tweeting about gibbets. You can tell a lot by man about those like little gibbets that you put on the Crocs. The little things.
The little charms or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, he's
to
out.
Flex your Croc game.
He's just being a weirdo, and I think that's why people like him because they're used to everybody rapping about smoking marijuana, having sex, doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And then Post Malone's out here playing PUBG in Crocs.
I guess, or I don't know. I don't really get.
There's an appeal to that.
I know. For a lot of people there is. I just don't really get it that much.
And honestly, I would venture to say that, especially nowadays in like music and stuff, music is only part of it. It's like almost a whole character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you like, especially like with Post Malone. I mean, he's got the Twitch streams. He's got, you know what I mean, he does cool like stuff like that. He does things outside of music, and like you follow him as a whole, not just the music. I mean, that's how it starts and everything.
You know what? I guess so. I'm not into it, but
you can be okay with it.
You like what you like.
I know. You know, here's another rapper. You know, I have you guys know how I feel about Eminem.
No.
You don't?
I don't.
I hate Eminem.
Okay.
I think Eminem is honestly one of the most overrated musicians in the history.
I respect the dude. I don't like his music.
You know, honestly, I think, here's my opinion on Eminem. You know, I think it is in it when he first started out. He is skilled at rhyming. You know, he's a skilled rapper, but I do think the only reason he got that famous is because he was white. He was like the first famous white rapper.
Right, but that's a monumental thing. I mean, like,
I guess it is, dude, but it does. His skin color doesn't have anything to do with how he raps, and I feel like if he was not the first big white guy, he wouldn't have got that famous. You know what I mean?
He's talented.
He has some crazy.
He is talented, and I will admit that. But here's the thing about Eminem. When he first started rapping, he was always saying how, I don't want to sell it to the media, and I don't care what the media says about me. Well, now he's up there talking about, I hate Donald Trump. Well, what's the media saying? I hate Trump. He's and maybe he does feel that way, but I feel like he's selling out to the general media because, I'm a Trump fan. I won't lie, but it's like. I know Sprague said don't get into politics, so I'm not going to get it that deep. But, Joel.
I'm letting you do your thing.
Don't look at me like that.
Nobody's stopping you. Go.
Yeah, well, it's like, I feel like the whole media is just oversaturated with.
I think at some point, every single artist gets to a point where they sell out a tiny bit. If it's not a lot, they even will. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Well,
at the end of the day, the money's the motivator. I mean,
I guess
if you're gonna get, if somebody offers you, hey, you want to promote Pepsi? Well, yeah, Pepsi's my favorite soda, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that's why YouTube is such a sketchy place to be, because you go on there and you watch your like big YouTubers or something. I don't know if you guys sit and watch YouTube, but I watch that stuff a lot.
Me too.
And like you can just tell, like you go into some stuff and people will be like, "Oh, this is the best product ever. Like, do this," and obviously they're promoting it, and then that makes you wonder, like, do they like it? Are they just completely selling out? And at some point, it'll hit a wall where it's like, all right, this YouTuber is selling out.
Yeah. Well, and you can draw a line where you say, well, I'm only going to promote the companies that I actually believe in or I've tested. I follow a lot of, I don't want to phrase this, like, not firearms people, but
tactical dudes.
Like people that, especially being in law enforcement, you got to kind of keep up with certain. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that go into it, and like gear and stuff is a big thing, at least for me and stuff, and always being ahead of the game with that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, when you're wearing like how many pounds of gear, it's nice to get stuff that's new and improved and will help you do your job day to day and everything. Yeah. And so I follow a lot of stuff like that, and like things
Shout
that keep you right.
Yeah.
And
keeps me nice and cool on my hot summer day.
I got featured on their page actually.
I saw that.
I know, that was awesome.
But anyways, what I mean. So I follow that kind of stuff, or things that. I might read up on articles or whatever. People might, put out this new technique that, hey, this is going to keep you safe or whatever. So stuff like that. And, I know a lot of guys on there that could make tons of money, I mean, especially once you get big, it's like on Instagram or, on YouTube or anything like that. You could have all these companies being like, hey, promote our product. And it's easy to say, hey, yeah, I'll promote everybody's product. It'll make me a ton of money. But I know specifically a few people that I follow in particular, they say, hey, listen, I only promote this kind of holster or this whatever or this, specific product because I've tested it for thousands of hours or hundreds of hours or whatever, and I know that it's going to work and it's going to work for you guys too. So
yeah,
there's a line to draw. I mean,
yeah.
I think you start losing viewers once you start selling out like hardcore.
You absolutely do. There was like I don't know the exact statistics on this, but there was this big, like one of the big first YouTube vapors. His name was Rip Trippers. I think he still makes videos.
Shout out to vaping.
Yeah, he was one of the
big. Smoke vape.
He was one of the.
Hey, you smoke vape,
bro? You smoke Juul, bro?
Dude, Juul. All right, go on.
All right. Well, we'll hit Juul in a second. But,
yeah, we will.
Gosh, but Rip Trippers. I think he was one of the big first vape YouTube guys, and I guess he sold up like a water company. Yeah.
He sold what?
He like started sponsoring a water company hardcore. It was weird. That's what I heard. I don't know the truth.
It just gets cheesy when all of a sudden all like your pages is full of like videos sponsored or whatever. I mean, look at World Star on Instagram.
I don't follow that page.
Okay.
I do. Why? What are you talking about on World Star?
Well, World Star used to be like, all these, underground like they would come out with like, like the fights or like, they like this new like underground mixtape or something like that. Actually like hip hop news and everything, or just like crazy fights and stuff. That's what everyone knows World Star for. And now it's like
the 8-ball fight. You ever see that guy? There's a big dude in an 8-ball jacket, and he hits that girl in the face with a newspaper, and the whole train just goes ballistic.
Oh, yeah. I actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude. He was on the news.
Yeah. I saw the news article of it. But, now you go on World Star. I can pull it up right now, and, like, every other one is, like, it's hashtag sponsored, and it's some weird thing. And, I mean, you can even tell in the comments, everyone's like, what happened at World Star? You know what I mean? Yeah. And you just start selling yourself out. You got to be true to yourself.
It's like in the Super Bowl, and everybody's freaking out, and like somebody makes an awesome touchdown or something. Then the announcer's like, all right, this is the Doritos 3D Locos Tacos Sprite Slam Dunk Frito Taco Contest, play of the game. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go get a Doritos Locos Taco.
Yeah.
You think sports are like dying out?
I don't know.
I've never been that much into sports, so I really can't say. But even me being little into sports, I watch it even less now. I don't know. It's to me, sports are fun to go watch in person. I'll go to MLB game or like.
I think baseball is the most boring thing to go to.
It's the experience, though. At least for me, you know what I mean.
Like, it's like eating this overpriced sack of peanuts and the $15 Coke. And
but it's something fun to do, like on a summer day or whatever. You hang out with the boys or whatever.
You hang out with the boys. You grill some hot dogs. You buy a Sprite for $25. It's a good day.
Yeah,
it is one of those fun things. It's like if we went to like a squad Packer game, I'd be down for that.
I'd be down for that. I think football's a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah, football. I have to say, for general sports, football is probably my favorite sport. I used to watch so much professional wrestling. I really don't that much anymore. But I know you guys never liked wrestling at all. That was one of my things.
We made that face because don't you still watch professional wrestling?
Not as much, and I actually kind of want to start watching it again because I've been so behind on it.
I don't know.
What are you making that face for, Sprague?
I would never be that much into sports where I go to like a Packers game and like put on my bib overalls and my winter jacket and sit in the snow to watch a game from like a mile up in the stands. Like,
yeah,
nah, bro, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll go. Like that's what something I like an MLB game or something because it's usually nicer out. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get to chill.
You ever think like people go to these games because they miss their high school community? Because like you go to a high school game, like a basketball game, a baseball game, a football game or something, and it's fun because you're there with your friends like chanting ridiculous stuff, right?
Yeah.
You ever think people are doing it? I'm triggering so many people right now.
Are you talking about for professional sports?
No, yeah.
I don't
think so, bro.
I've thought about
I think
that.
you're being a little too Dr. Freud here, bro.
They're not like standing up in the stands doing the roller coaster, like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I mean, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in a lot of like the traditional psychology stuff and like therapy kind of stuff? What I'm saying is,
you mean when they like shocked people to stop being gay?
Well, no. What I'm saying is no, Sprague. Okay, so like when I
don't think it worked that way.
I think a lot of that stuff is a lot of bullwinder stuff because it's like I was in psychology. I go to a technical college, so it's not that.
I took a psychology class.
Yeah. But the thing is, I go to at a university like you go to. I feel like it'd be a lot more.
I thought it was super interesting.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I go to a tech school where it's not...
You're still learning psychology, Paul.
I am, dude. But my education is more focused on, like the classes I like is like stuff to get into law enforcement. And I feel like university psychology class would probably be a higher quality psychology class than a tech school that I go to. I don't know. Yeah, what do you think, bro?
I think it's a psychology class. I think you go in there and I think you learn all the basics.
Even at the end of the day, it depends on who your instructor is.
Yeah, and
you could have a doctorate that did all these monumental things, and maybe they go teach at a technical college because that's what they.
Yeah, that's their side job.
That's what they like, or that's what they do on the side, and I could go to a actual accredited 4-year college or whatever, and then have somebody that's like a psychology person going to graduate school, and they have to teach us intro to psych. for their whatever, they're just like, whatever. I'm just gonna teach it.
Sat in classes and learned nothing the entire semester.
Here's my point. Like what I was trying to say was like when I was in the psychology class, and this is a common theory you'll hear at any university or whatever, and it's a theory of like, oh, when a child is a child, they want to. It's literally this. It's like they want to have sex with their parent.
That was like a.
I've heard about that.
No,
they
teach that.
Where are we rolling with this here?
Okay, I'm not trying to be inappropriate. This is an actual psychology thing.
There was a book on that a long time ago. Wasn't that really long? That was like a 1700 type thing.
Dude, I learned that a year ago in class.
Like they were teaching this is a thing. This is real.
Yes, I swear, dude. It was probably a year and a half ago.
Your education is messed up.
Yeah. Okay. It's psychology.
It's where like the son wants to kill the father and then bang his mom.
Okay, I didn't hear about that one, like murdering the father thing. Okay. I heard the want to have sex with the mother thing recently, dude. And you didn't learn that in your university at all?
Not at all.
I don't know. That's why
I've heard of that as like somebody wrote that in a book like a long time ago, and obviously people nowadays are like, that's not a thing.
Well, I don't know, dude. I just think all that psychology stuff can go a little overboard. It's like
that is overboard.
I'm just trying to figure out where you're going with this.
Well, the thing.
And what sparked this?
Okay,
that's what he's saying.
Because I think a lot of psychology is a lot of just eggheads thinking they're smart and just making up stuff like that.
I mean, that's why nobody's getting jobs in psychology.
Well, here's the thing, dude. It's like, okay, say you go to a therapist today, right?
Yeah.
They're like, and you're like, yeah, I really don't like beets. Shout out to Dwight Schrute. Or watermelons. Let's say watermelons. Man, I really don't like. You go to a therapist, and you're like, yeah, I really don't like watermelons. They just taste bad. The therapist would probably be like, oh, well, did your mother assault you with a watermelon when you were little? Like, did you have any negative experiences with watermelons?
I think you guys are just hating too much on psychology.
I love psychology. I think it's an interesting topic. I'm saying, if you graduate with a psychology degree, it is very hard to get a sustaining job.
Yeah. I think a lot of this stuff is overshot, and I think a lot of the psychologist guys are just...
I think you're just attacking some of the theories that aren't valid anymore.
I
think there's a lot of... Especially when you get into the science of the brain and stuff.
There used to be experiments where they would put like a pin in your head and then hit it into your head, and they thought that would fix psychology, like brain issues or something, like a mental issue.
Yeah, but dude, I'm saying that's why a lot of the psychology stuff is weird. Even if it was the older stuff, it's still the same psychology.
A lot of my psychology class was theories of thought.
Yeah.
Like I can't even Marx.
Karl Marx, like the communist guy?
Yeah. And we learned about that type of stuff, like theories of thought. It was a lot of like political stuff too, where like people were like, oh, this has to happen to have the perfect society, and like this has to happen to have the perfect, and like
Yeah, that's just not true, bro. Because would you agree with that though? That wouldn't there's no one.
I didn't agree with anything. I liked hearing about it because I don't think that the psychologists know yet. Like I don't think we know a lot about our own brain and like consciousness and stuff like that. Nobody knows what's going on.
Well, how are you supposed to figure out how the human mind operates? Because it's not. I feel like the human mind, like our personalities, what things that we find funny, or things that Joel does not for some reason like Chinese buffets.
I don't
like buffets in general.
I love
honestly.
them, but you can't.
Buffets are kind of gross in general.
So okay, but are you gonna tell me that there's some chemical in your brain that makes you not like a buffet? Because I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think that's on a deeper level of, sure, I'll get preachy here. It's like a soul thing. I really do believe in the human soul. And I think that, dude, I just don't think that there's a certain chemical or pattern in your brain that's going to make you not like Taco Bell.
I think a lot of it is chemical makeup in your brain. I do. I think it's a lot about your experiences and your past experiences. And stuff like that trigger different thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. I also know that I have no idea what's going on because I didn't study that deeply into it. But I don't think psychologists also know what's going on really that well. They're using what they think works.
Yeah.
But they don't have like concrete evidence. Like we don't even know why we dream.
I just feel that there's more to the human mind than the physical body.
Okay.
Would you agree with that or no?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
Okay.
No.
Well, nobody knows.
I know, but I haven't thought about that.
I know, but that's how I view it. I don't think that whether I like T-Bell or not, or whether I like beer or not, is based on my chemical balance or you know what I'm saying?
Chemical makeup, like
chemical. Yeah, sure, anything. I don't believe that the way I like a certain food or I think a joke is funny is about how my brain is hooked up.
Well, what else would it be?
Well, dude, like I said, I think humans have souls.
There's like a supernatural part to it.
Well, yeah, but here's my thing about buffets. All right, here's my thing about buffets, especially Asian buffets in general.
All right, Coach Joel.
I'm gonna lay it out right now.
All right, lay it out because I'll lay out the Chick-fil-A stuff too.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
Like I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, even if it's wrong, Paul.
Okay, you know, all right, Joel. Even if it's wrong, Joel.
All right,
bro.
So, anyways, first of all, let me preface this. I don't really care for Asian food is not my favorite food in the universe. Yeah. All right.
Well, if you ask a therapist, they'd probably say your mother beat you with a crab rangoon egg roll when you were a kid. I mean, I'm just saying.
But anyway, so that's already just like some food for thought around that one.
Yeah.
But now, when you go to a place like Asian buffet
or AA Supreme buffet
or AA Supreme buffet, whatever it is, it's like
or Main Moon too,
whatever. You gotta pay like $18 just to get in the door, right? And you know the food that you're gonna get is not gonna be worth all that, because you could go to a different Asian place that probably is not a buffet. It's like a sit down place. Order some food that's gonna be probably a better quality and fill you up the same, but you're gonna pay the same or less.
All right, so
you know what I mean?
No, well, here is
the quality. I feel like when you pay for a buffet in general, not even Asian buffets, just any kind of buffet, it's at the end of the day, all it is just quantity over quality. The stuff's sitting there under the heater, you know what I mean? And there's some I'd argue that some buffets are worth it. Like I think Pizza Hut, their buffet on Wednesdays or Thursdays or whatever it is, it's like $5, dude.
Yeah, that's
worth it because you're probably paying less than what you would pay to split a pizza or whatever, and you can just go up there and get some pizza or whatever, and pizza isn't, you know what I mean, generally pizza is something that's going to be decent, not like some mystery meat in this egg roll over here, you know what I mean, or something like that.
DiGiorno, no. But
and then what? They expect you to leave a little tip afterward anyways?
Well, nobody asks for a tip at a buffet.
You gotta tip people.
I never tip.
We're not gonna get.
You normally get a waitress at a buffet or at Pizza Hut,
right? Or if they come and clean your stuff up every time and stuff like. Okay, and we could get into a whole discussion about tipping because there's some people that tip, there's some people that don't, there's some people that under-tip or over-tip.
I will say, if you do not tip your waitress or waiter, you're a piece of crap. If you just decide that you're not going to pay at all.
Why don't I tell you this, though?
If you're going to sit there and say that you can't afford the $2 or $3 tip,
then you shouldn't be going out. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you this. So people think that waitresses and waiters are so poor and they don't get paid any money. Well, let me say something real quick. When I was working at Texas Roadhouse, I would work 3 days a week and I would make probably about $150 in that whole weekend. Okay, the waitress at Texas Roadhouse, I was talking to her, she made $250 a night just in tips. Yep. In one fucking night.
Yes. Was she attractive?
Yeah.
They can make a lot of money, yes, but you do know that they're getting paid $2 an hour.
Yeah, but dude,
their hourly wage
she made more money than I did in a whole weekend off one night. So people are sitting there, oh, boo-hoo, the waitresses are in poverty.
But you know? Also, though, too, that's depending on how good of a waitress they are, or waiter. You know what I mean? Because if you're a bad waiter or waitress, that's when people are definitely not going to tip you, or they're going to tip you horribly. So you have to be on your A game, I would say. You know what I mean? That if you're not being attentive and helping the customer out, they're going to be like, well, they came and visited us once and I had to walk in the kitchen myself to get my salad. I'm not giving them a tip. And what? Then they're not going to get any money off that. So,
dude, why? Okay, I understand that it's ethically a good thing to do, but why is it the customer's responsibility to pay the waitress's wage?
Because that's how it is right now.
Okay, dude, they signed up to be a waitress.
Correct. They expecting to get tips.
Dude, it's not the customer's responsibility to pay the waitress's salary, though.
This is how our
that's how society works. Right?
Okay,
you pay for goods and services. So if this product is better, you're going to probably pay for that one over this one.
Let me ask you this.
If this service is better, you're either going to pay for that one or tip more for it.
Do you tip when you get a haircut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will, dude, I'm not saying I don't tip waitresses. I'm just saying I will tip the waitress.
Okay.
You're just salty about it.
I'm not even salty. I'm just saying it's not my responsibility. I tip because I got good service, but it's not your responsibility to tip.
That's what's expected right now. If you are going out to dinner, before you even walk out that door, you should be like, I need to pay the tip when I get there, when I pay the bill.
But dude, you shouldn't feel that you have to pay the tip.
Do you think that's not the school of thought right now?
Okay, well, dude,
I also heard though that recently that the new generation, like of young people, is ruining tipping, because you get stuff like, especially, and this is just what I heard. I don't know. I didn't read the article or whatever that this person was telling me, but that like when you order stuff like on apps or like if you like ordered on whatever app for that company and then you go pick it up, or if you like like Uber and stuff like that, when you first, I don't know, I've never used an Uber app, but like if there was no option, at least in the beginning, to put a tip on there.
Mm-hmm.
So like everyone, I guess, like now these kids are going out to places or getting these services, and like they don't think that they have to tip because it was never an option before. But I also heard that maybe our generation is like, actually, I don't know. I heard old people are worse at tipping because they're still used to like the 10 or 15%. Like that's what
I've met so many old people where they're like, I'm leaving them a penny.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because that's how it used to be.
Right.
That's just out of spite.
And I think that's terrible.
I would never leave just a penny, dude.
Okay, go on.
I think younger people, like I'm talking us, not like younger than us.
Okay, so like 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, right. Like in our age range.
Okay.
Are actually better tippers than older people.
I would say I'm 100% better because I always do 20%.
Yeah, that 20% is the new standard. That's the new 15.
And that's with inflation and everything. It's because you have to pay more because things are more expensive now.
Okay, all I'm trying to say is there's no reason that you feel that you have to pay somebody's salary if just because they work at a place that they choose to work for. Dude,
Paul,
people,
that's how their salary is based off.
Okay, but dude, it's not the customer's responsibility to pay someone.
But that's how the system works.
Okay, well, you know what?
That's Paul. That's
you're gonna have to make. You're gonna have. Okay, if you don't want to pay tip, everyone's have to get an hourly wage then, and then you guess what? Like now, there's gonna be no incentive for them to do a good job, because if everyone's getting paid the same, if I'm getting $10 an hour to serve this table and go back and text and use my phone, or take forever and not fill up their drinks, and somebody who's busting it and going out there and trying to greet them and make them feel welcome and help them out with ordering and all this and that, if we're both getting the same rate, why like that person that's busting to try and get it done, they're gonna be like, well, why should I work this hard if that dude's over there being lazy and doing nothing and we're getting the same?
Okay, but do you understand what I'm saying when it's
well, I understand.
Kinda not really.
I understand where you're coming from, but you understand that you would have to change all of society to get what you wanted, what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, dude, never feel that it's... Dude, okay, so let's say our job. Do you think somebody tips me when I stop them for stealing because I don't make enough? You don't get tipped for helping people on the phone, and you probably should, honestly. But that you think if Joel pulls somebody over and takes him to jail, they're gonna give him $10? I
don't get a bonus.
Some people like to think so.
But
yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, though. Right, some people do think that's how it works. But anyways, here's the thing on that though. Now we're jumping careers here, okay?
Dude,
because you take a career like law enforcement, okay? Yeah. Now we're in a whole different thing, because that's a whole lot different than a customer service kind of. I mean, there's elements of customer service in that too, but I'm talking like, I'm not doing this like all for a tip and for like you have different reasons of why you're doing it. I mean, you got to be a lot more like, you got to have passion for everything that you do. I feel like it's, if you're gonna be a waitress for, be passionate about it or whatever. Do your job the best that you can,
or at least be a people person.
Right, but like, I mean, you're not getting in it for the money or anything like that, and you don't really make that much money anyways.
What, for being a waitress?
No, I'm talking being like in law enforcement or whatever.
You make a good salary.
Decent.
I mean, pretty good.
We could get into all that too, but basically what I'm saying is, like, when you start, like, there's different incentives though. Yeah. Okay, if I I might not get a tip for doing a good job. And really, if you want to go into a career to get a pat on the back and have everybody praise you, don't go into law enforcement because that's rarely going to happen.
You're just going to get shit smeared on
you. You know, but you know, what I'm trying to say is that there's different incentives. Well, and there's, you know, being a waitress or a waiter, your incentive might be, okay, you're going to get a tip and you won't get fired. Well, now my incentive for being in law enforcement is, well, okay, it's more on the other side. Maybe not incentives to do like, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this, but there's more incentives like if you're not doing something right, you can go to jail. You can go to prison for doing like, there's a lot like stricter penalties. You're held to a higher standard, stuff like that. Our whole system is based on incentives. I mean, I was reading this, or I was watching this video on Facebook the other day about like capitalism or something, and how this one guy who he went to this whole, like, it was like, it's not like a vegan, but like a Whole Foods like coffee shop or whatever it was.
Shout out to Whole Foods.
Well, I don't know exactly how like what it was called, but like he went in there and he was ordering his stuff or whatever with like, you know, the organic like milk and all this and that and blah blah blah. And so they're talking while she's making the coffee or whatever, and she says like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he said like he works for like a capitalist company or whatever, like Capitalist Today or whatever, like something like that.
Yeah.
And she kind of like looked at him and was like, well, you know, like gave him some crap about her or whatever, because she must have opposed that ideal or whatever. And he was going into all this stuff about how you have to have incentives for, like, farmers don't go out and make organic corn
because that's harder for them.
You know what I mean? Just because it's, you know, like they feel good about making organic corn, they have to get money. But there's got to be some incentive to do stuff. So whether you're a waiter or a cop or, you know, you work in some kind of customer service or you're a auto technician, I don't know, whatever you want to be, there's always incentives.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's why the tip for maybe, you know, waitering or waitressing, that's your incentive.
I will say this. I think that when you get into it, you know, I've been through a lot of jobs in my life. You guys know that. I mean, I washed dishes at Texas Roadhouse. I've worked 2 places for loss prevention. You know, I've been a physical laborer for a plant company, and I've worked in 2 warehouses. It's a mess. Office Depot, you know how it is. But the one thing that I really learned after all these jobs is, and which is why I'm very excited to get into corrections, and eventually to be either a police officer or a deputy sheriff, is that, you know, the thing with me is I really came to realize that do a job that you like doing, bro. And that's why I'm super excited to get into this corrections position, because let me tell you, dude, loss prevention, it's really not that awesome. You know, and it's just, it's a lot of, like, I think it's a good stepping stone, security, and you work security, right?
Yeah, I've worked security.
Could you consider it a good stepping stone to get in law?
I think it's a great stepping stone for somebody that's going to try and get into law enforcement.
So I've worked 2 loss prevention jobs, and the frustrating thing about that is that it's just a retail setting, and I think it's kind of a crappy thing you have to do before you get a good job.
You know,
everybody's got to go through a crappy
That's
job.
what I'm saying. It's a crappy
That's what I'm saying.
thing.
You don't start out just doing your career, but it's, you know, I that's something I've always kind of thought about and, you know, thought was super important is, you know, you got to, you know, like what you're doing or have, you know, at least like the direction you're going. I mean, you might not like the minimum wage job that you're doing right now, but think of what it's doing for you right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even though that you're there doing that, it might suck, and, you know, and it's not what you want to do forever, but make the most out of it and still do the job the best you can. Yeah. That's frustrating to me when somebody's like, well, I don't like working here, so I'm just going to, you know, do the bare minimum and this and that. And I'm thinking this is more applies to, like, careers and stuff like that. Is I can imagine working 30 years in a job that you would hate.
I could not imagine that.
I forgot what that one. He's like an inspirational speaker kind of guy.
Yeah.
He like always preaches on positivity and everything. And he had a good point that was like, he feels sad for people that live for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the weekend.
I've heard that,
dude.
You know what I mean? That if you hate your job that much, Monday through Thursday or Friday, that you can't stand. Like you cannot wait until that Friday. And I get it. I mean, especially like going to school and stuff like that. You don't have to like, even if you do like your job, it's nice to have a break and relax, no matter what you do. But you know, he does have a good point that if you hate your life Monday through Friday,
why are you there?
Yeah, what's
Right. And you know what? The thing is with me is, you know, so when I don't like a job, I have a bad habit of just getting out of there, you know, and you guys know this, and my resume looks kind of messy, but dude,
what do you have, like 8 jobs?
8 or 9, yeah, since I was 18, and I'm 22 now, you know, so
4 years, 8 jobs, what's it?
Two
jobs a year.
There's a point though where you have to like stick out a job and like chill with it for a little bit.
Right, there's a happy medium. I mean, like, and like I said, you might not like for short term stuff. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. It be like that. Sometimes
you just sometimes, you know. And here's
you just got to make the money.
So
you know
here's
what I mean?
You know, you guys, you know, just for listeners out there, you know, I was at listeners, aka 5 people on Facebook.
Right, the people that we send this to and make them listen to
but,
it.
You know what?
They didn't even make it to this point.
When I, God, Sprague, don't start talking like that. But, you know, I was at Milligers for a while, you know, and
shout out to Milligers.
You know, I really liked that job. I really did enjoy it, just the whole working man aspect of it, you know, getting up, throw a dip in, go to work, you know, and just working with your hands. I really did like that, you know, but
you remember that? Sorry to cut you off, but you remember that day we went and visited him, and he was like, "Oh, check this out!"
Oh my God! When I almost tore the concrete out of the ground.
He scraped.
What are those things called?
He scraped that bobcat.
The front loader, and I almost ripped the concrete out of the ground.
All right, for people listening, me and Joel roll up to Paul's place of work, Milligers at the time, and there's a front loader. That's what they're called?
Yeah, like
front
a bobcat front loader.
So Paul's like, "Hey guys, check this out," and he's like kind of just moving it up and down a little bit and going front and back. And then all of a sudden the thing just drops down, like the little loader drops down, and Paul just starts ripping it across.
Oh, dude, I almost ripped the asphalt out of the. They would have had to call a construction crew if I would have messed that up that bad. But you know, I worked at Milligers for 11 months, and the reason I had to leave was because I got my heart broken by a coworker, and it really did suck. And I kind of wish I would have stuck it out. What are you making a face?
I didn't know that story.
You don't know that story? Dude,
you don't have to get into it if you
want. I'll tell.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Well, I won't tell the entire thing, but you know, it's like
we should save this for like a relationships podcast.
I kind of wanted to go into my recent breakup a little bit. I don't know if that's cool with you.
If you want to send it.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to send it?
I'm just saying, that could be a whole nother thing. Like that's a huge topic going into relationships and stuff.
Okay, we'll say that. Well, I will tell this for real story later. But basically, I got my heart broken by a coworker.
Okay.
Very beautiful. Okay. I had never had any type of experience with a woman like that in my life up until that point.
All right.
And, you know, madly in love with her and all that shit. And, you know, it didn't end well, so I had to leave. And ever since I left that job, it has been a continuous stream of new jobs, and it freaking sucks. But I view it as like, it just sucks, bro, but you just have to keep rolling, and it really do be like that sometimes. And your life path is like, you just got to keep going. You know?
You do.
That's the moral, folks.
The moral is
it really be like that sometimes.
It be like that sometimes. F you mean about that business. Thick young yeet boys.
Shout out to Destiny too.
Destiny too, the whole 9 yards. But I don't know, man. You know, and I don't know. Are you guys in relationships right now at all?
No,
not currently.
Well, I was just asking for the viewer's sake. You know?
Oh,
but yeah, we should actually do a relationship episode. Yeah, I broke my girlfriend and I. Just why not? Just say a little bit of it.
Go for it.
You know, my girlfriend and I, well, ex-girlfriend now. You know,
we'll call her Cheryl.
We'll call her Joel.
Pick a different name.
So me and Joel. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, yeah, sure. We'll call her Cheryl.
Cheryl.
So me and Cheryl were only together for like a month officially, in like 2 months, and yeah, I'm a little bummed about it, but it's fine. But we really should do it. And I'm single now again. You know, Cheryl was my first for real official Facebook globalist official, you know, girlfriend. And
are you not friends on Facebook anymore?
She doesn't have Facebook.
So you just kind of went solo on that whole Facebook official thing?
Yeah, I said in a relationship on Facebook.
Okay.
And I marked it to single, and thankfully Mark Zuckerberg didn't announce that to the world. But yeah, I know I'm single again, so if any ladies are out there that wanna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're all currently single here,
Yeah.
so if any ladies like the sound of either one of our voices,
Yeah, if you like hearing us yelling about Pizza Man and.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that they won't be able to see they'll have to wait to see what we.
What are we
gonna
use for a picture for this podcast?
Oh, we'll throw something up there.
Okay.
We'll if we continue on with this, we could eventually implement like a camera or something into this so they can watch us.
Yeah, we could do
talk.
that. But okay, another thing I want to topic. What's your guys' since it is the first episode? If it'd be like that sometimes. What is give an example of your life that you've experienced it be like that sometimes? Because mine was working at Best Buy with the 2 to 9s. And you just had to stand there up at the desk from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. and there was nothing you could do about it. And it just be like that sometimes.
I think you could
use it for a lot of things.
every single day. You could say that.
Yeah, when I get cussed out on the phone,
it'd be like
and
that,
somebody's cussing me out for something I can't control. It's just like, okay,
something just
Wait
isn't
for it
going
to-
right, no matter what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
It really do be like that sometimes, and at the end of the day, it just means, hey, that's life, and.
Or when you're throwing a bunch of ravioli in a toilet, hoping your parents don't beat the crap out of you the next morning, it'd be like that.
And I don't know. You guys, any other stories we should tell?
Did you delete pictures with her on Facebook?
I didn't have any with her on Facebook.
I swear you did.
No, it was on my phone.
Before we wrap this up, I do want to get into one story.
Yeah,
I want you to tell the entirety of the story of you throwing a milk carton at a wall in high school.
I
want the entire story because I've only heard other people's stories. I've never heard your thought processes on that.
Okay.
You've been trying to put this past them for so long.
This what?
You've been trying to get past this.
So
This moment in your life.
okay. The biggest letdown about this story is that there really has no meaning behind it.
That's what I figured.
It was just such a random stupid thing, and I had a leftover milk carton from lunch, and I was in the library with Cooper after school,
John?
Yeah, John.
Okay.
And I was like, "Hey, Coop, you want to go do something funny?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "Let's take this milk carton and let's just throw it."
You suggested that?
It was my idea.
Okay.
I was like, "Let's just throw the milk carton somewhere."
Okay.
He's like, "Okay." I'm still mad at John to this day about this. So we go in the bathroom, like, "Okay, John, I'm gonna throw it. You ready?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "Ooh, ooh," and he runs out of the bathroom and wieners out. He just runs away because he got scared because he didn't want to get in trouble. So I say, "Fine, I'm gonna send it. Smash this milk carton against the bathroom wall."
Was it chocolate or what?
It was chocolate, man. I threw this thing long, deep, and wide, man. I mean, I just bapped this thing against it got all over the ceiling and stuff. And I thought I got away with it. Next time in history class. Bring. Paul, you gotta go down to the office.
You know exactly what it is.
I knew what it was. I walked outside the classroom. The bathroom door was locked and shut of the one that I threw the milk carton. I was like, oh, God. So I go out of the bath. I go into the office. Doug's sitting there. He does the thing, the finger thing where he just, you know what I'm saying?
The come here.
The come here finger. He gave me the come here finger. He's like, all right, Paul. Got you on video. Smashing a milk carton against the wall. We'll come out of the bathroom after it was smashed. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
Well, did you not realize that every inch of those hallways in there has a camera?
But I did it anyway. And I was like, Doug, I'll never do it again. I want to be a good boy. I just want to go back to history class. He was like, I was like, please don't get me detention. I'll just be a good boy. I won't do anything wrong. He's like, you're gonna clean this school for a week, every day after school. So I had to help mop up the floors and stuff. I don't know what's leading off with one or two more. What else would you like to hear about, or any stories you guys got? Or memory PB and J stories, or probably be Sprague stories.
I remember in business class, whatever, accounting.
Yeah.
You and Kaminsky were sitting in the back, and we're all working and stuff, and how the teacher could open up your screen because there was a bunch of computers in that room.
Yeah.
And he could pull it up and put it up on the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear you in the back, and you're like, "Oh, dude, this one's so nice." And you're showing him your screen and stuff. You're tilting the computer and stuff, and I look back and he's like, it's like $300, but it's so nice. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And you're like, dude, I think I'm gonna get this for like graduation. My parents are gonna buy it for me.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And Kaminsky's just like, cool, dude, like sweet, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And like Swanee's just staring at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like dead locked on you, and he like, you're not looking at him, you're not realizing that Swanee's watching you. So Swanee like starts typing and stuff, pulls your like screen up on the smart board or whatever.
He did?
Yeah.
He pulled it up on the smart board? Why did he do that?
And your screen all of a sudden comes up, and you're like, dude, this one's so nice. And then you see like a little mouse circling a like $500 laser pointer. You're like, dude, this one pops balloons and stuff. And everyone's just like kind of goes quiet and like looks back at you, and you still at this point didn't realize.
I didn't even know what happened till today.
And like everyone's just staring at you, like waiting for you to realize, and you never did. And like a couple days later, I think that was the day that like Swanee was like, Paul, like you're gonna fail. You are on the track to failing this class, and you're like, dude, please don't fail me. And then Swanee's like, you know what? If you drop this class next semester, I won't fail you. And you're like, I'll go do it right now. And then you like ran and dropped the class.
The story with that was when he told me to drop the class was it was when I was in advanced theater class with Mr. Lang.
Oh gosh.
And I walked down to visit. I think you were in that class. Yeah.
Yeah, you walked down to visit, and he kicked you out.
I walked down to visit Julia. Remember?
No.
Yeah, Julia H.
No. Oh, okay.
Malecki was in that class.
I wasn't in that one.
That was the one he told me to drop out in. Because I went in there. Yes, Brad.
Malecki was in there?
Yeah, because I went in there. I think it was Malecki.
No, it was me, like Karsten.
Okay, well, I remember. Well, I don't know, but here's the thing: was I went down. It was like I was gone for like an hour from class.
Yeah.
Screwing around your guys' class.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Swanee, and I wasn't even in the class. I was just hanging out in Swanee's class.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's when he came up to me. He was like, dude, you're going to fail. I would highly recommend you dropping out. And I was like, okay, dude. You know, and he was like, and that was it, you know. I remember, I was going to tell a Paul and Joel story. You got one to tell real quick?
The only one that came to mind right now was the fishing story.
Oh my God! All right, so we were.
Paul and I.
Yeah,
Paul
you
and
tell
I,
a story.
Okay.
You tell.
Our initials. Well, I guess my last name
PB.
initial is not included, but
PB and J.
But our little 2-man group is PB and J. That's what we call ourselves because his initials plus my first name, and you know, we decided. What was that, last summer or the summer before?
That was like 3 summers ago.
I think it was.
That was 3 summers ago, I think.
We're like, hey man, well let's
go
do
fishing.
something wild and go fishing, right?
Yeah.
And so we go to this pond or whatever I mean, it's a small lake. I think it runs into the river there.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
But you know, like we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's something different. So we go out there on a summer day, and we're wetting the line here, trying to get something to bite. And I don't know if I think we only maybe caught one fish.
Maybe one.
Even if. And,
remember when are you telling when the Jeff the weatherman told you about when you threw the rock at those fish or whatever?
No.
Remember there was this like mother fish and all its babies fish were like feasting off of her milk or whatever, and you threw a rock at it and they all swam away, and Jeff the weatherman was like, Joel, now they're all orphans. You don't remember that?
I don't remember. I don't think I threw a rock at a mother fish.
I don't remember.
I remember looking at some tadpoles or
there
something.
Was a tadpoles. Yeah, it was a tadpoles, and you threw a rock or something.
I didn't. I think I just was like, I don't know.
What's this story
I
going?
remember some. Well, anyways, let's just carry on. So we're out there. It was. I remember it being a little buggy in there. We
so many mosquitoes.
We trekked through a little bit of tall grass. Probably got our shoes a little bit muddy.
Ticks everywhere.
We're trying to just get to some kind of fishing spot. We want to catch one fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So finally, we're like, well, you know, we tried all those crazy spots. We're like, I guess we'll go over here. There's like a small like
marshy area.
There's like a small family that's like fishing there and stuff, and I'll let you say the direct quote, but you know, so we're sitting there casting away, just kind of like getting to the point where we're kind of donezo here with all that, and what was the kid like bawling or something? The kid,
you're just. I remember just standing there with my fishing pole in the water, and all of a sudden we hear.
That kid was just not having a good time.
The kid was just crying, man. You want me to finish it off?
Yeah, finish it
The
off.
kid just, We can hear it all the way across the lake. Joel looks at me. He says, "When the tears start rolling, fishing gets old."
Fishing gets old.
And that's it. It'd be like that sometimes. When the tears start rolling, fishing gets old.
And I tell you what, we probably have so many quotes like of just.
Yeah. You want to do the garbage one?
The garbage one.
Yeah, when you forgot your chicken tenders on the table.
What?
You want to say? Come on, you want to say that one, bro?
All right. So a little fact about me is I really do not believe in leftovers.
Don't know why.
Either.
You guys, they're so good.
If I order something at a restaurant, right?
I don't believe in leftovers.
It's very to me. All right, obviously I enjoy it because I'm ordering it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I bring that stuff home in a styrofoam container and heat it up later, it is not going to be anywhere to the point where it was.
It's like gross.
There's few things that are good leftovers. Other than that, even like
Jose's blue sombrero is litty.
Like home cooked meals, those can be decent. Those are like, all right, I'll probably eat that. Like I can eat that for dinner. But like food that you eat at a restaurant or something, rarely ever will I find that appealing to take home for leftovers. Like, cause I don't think I'm gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it eating it. So I usually just try and eat it all right there, or just don't take it. Right.
Yeah.
Well, Paul and I, we're at Texas Roadhouse, and I got some chicken critters. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we
some blossom sauce and a bloomin' onion.
Yeah. So we had the whole thing.
Coke with grenadine. Coca-Cola with grenadine.
Yeah, and I was getting very full, right? And I saw like 3-4 tenders left. I think I finished all my fries. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, these won't be too bad. You know what I mean? If you throw them in the oven or something, they heat decently. Mm-hmm. So like, all right, I'll take these home. And let me tell you again, I don't normally take leftovers home, right?
No.
Nope. So you know, we pay and whatever, and we're rolling out, and you know, we get in the car, and we're pretty much all the way. I would say 3/4 of the way back to the crib.
Yeah.
And I just have a moment of realization, and I'm like, man, darn it. I forgot my my chicken critters.
Forgot his chicken critters on the table.
Right?
Yep.
And Paul was all concerned. He's like, well, bro, do you want to go back and get them? What did I say, bro?
Them shits are already in the garbage.
I didn't even start to slow down. You know, like when you like forget something, you're like, oh, like you already start like slowing down to try and turn or something, go back around. Like when you forgot to close the garage door or something. Nah, dude. Probably just sped up and was like, them things are already in the garbage.
Well, when I worked at a restaurant and people left their stuff, we would like hold it for like half hour at most, and then we would toss it.
Yeah.
No way.
Because then it just gets gross.
Yeah. I'm not dealing with all that.
I don't know. Sprague, do you got anything?
I got nothing more. You want to end it on that note?
Yeah, I think it's about. Excuse me. How long did we go?
For about an hour and 15.
That's it? I thought this was like 2 hours long.
That's a good podcast time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Gun control.
Right.
Abortion.
Goodbye.
Wait. Come on. We're not gonna okay.
We're ending.
Real quick. We're gonna do a speed round of debating on gun control, abortion, and Donald Trump.
All right.
Also, was Obama born in America? 2 weeks. Tune in. We're gonna be talking about should Canada be considered an actual country, or should we exile it like Pluto? I'm just kidding.
We're gonna end that here on that note.
Thanks for listening, you guys. You know what do you guys? Come on, we should make one next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I really want to keep doing this, bro.
We will. So you'll hear more from us.
Swear?
What?
You pinky swear?
All right, we're gonna end.
Come on,
here.
no, wait, just stop. There's no way I'm letting it end on this negative note, bro.
That's a positive note. We're coming back. They'll hear more from us.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
And putting up with us till the end here.
Yeah. So Sprague, please don't look.
Shout out to my mom. She probably listened to this.
Oh yeah.
I won't send her the link.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for listening. We appreciate you listening to us shoot the bull for a while. This was the first episode of It Be Like That Sometimes.
Sponsored by Jewel.
Sponsored by Doritos Jack 3D Sprite and Jewel.
This is not actually sponsored by anything.
Maybe one day. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Maybe subscribe to us, but like.
Yeah, give us a subscribe to our YouTube.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.